My mother was very young, and she had some problems with substance abuse, and she just wasn't capable of caring for us.
There was just me and my sister. We were basically taking care of ourselves, and that was around age 5. Because my dad was a real heavy drinker. He worked third shift, and my mom, she was a drug addict, you know.
I was real scared. I was a little shocked when she left me. I couldn't believe she wasn't there. She was probably drinking or something.
I was placed in the system when I was 3.
When I first went into the foster home, I felt scared. I felt lonely.
Because mainly I didn't want to be there, or they didn't want me there.
We weren't the kids like normal kids, like happy kids.
Well, I was in foster care for 10 years, and I moved about 14 times.
In the span within a year, I was out of 5 homes.
When my real mom used to be with me, when she leave all the time, it felt like I'd never had a mom before.
Being in a courthouse, you're scared, nervous.
It's this big building with all these people.
Long hallway, a whole bunch of people, you know, talking about me.
It was really difficult.
I thought I was never going to see my brothers and sisters again.
You wonder where your mom or dad went, and you wonder where you're going to end up at, and you just hope it's a good outcome. But most of all, you want to go home.
All kids like me want is a chance.
The program is referred to as CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates.
And that's a rather fancy name for trained volunteers who are appointed by judges to speak for the best interests of a child.
In some places we're called CASA volunteers. Other places we're called guardian ad litem.
In some places they're also called pro-kids and child advocates.
As CASA volunteers, we represent abused and neglected children in juvenile court.
I thought, actually, this is the best way that I could affect change for children.
There's a great deal of abuse going on, and there's a great deal of children who are falling through the cracks of the system. The system's not perfect.
They all are from abused and neglected homes. To some degree, they have physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse.
We need people, caring people, to take a child under their wing.
And they need a secure future like you would want for your own children. So it just made me more convinced than ever about the value of having a CASA on a case for children.
As a CASA volunteer, I am a link between where that child is and where that child wants to be.
All kids are happy to have somebody, you know, that'll speak up in court on their behalf, you know, tell the people what they feel and what they want to happen.
She became a very stable person in my life. Many of the people around me were changing, foster parents and therapists and counselors and things, but she stayed there, and she was the one familiar face that I could always make out.
As a CASA, one of your first duties is to know every single person involved in the case.
I may talk to the child's doctor, the child's teacher, the child's principal.
Caregivers, friends, family members, just to get a handle on the child's living situation.
You would make assessments, and you would know if they are in the right educational program, if they should be in special ed, if they are in need of counseling, sometimes if they even need clothes.
Probably the best outcome for a CASA volunteer is to see that child finally adopted, or maybe placed securely in a foster home, or maybe even reunited with his natural family.
And I can see that they've moved from being so afraid to being a confident child.
That makes me feel complete when I have seen that that child is in a safe and permanent home, and that he's happy in that home.
What I really like about living here is having a mom and a dad.
If you have a problem, you know that you can go home and talk to your parents about it, and you know that, you know, they'll be there to help you through hard times and give you advice.
I have friends and a family who loves me dearly.
That's my home.
I have my own room and my own bed.
My room's pretty groovy.
For me personally, it's been such a privilege. I just love every one of them, and I really feel I know them. And as I said to somebody, you know, I want to be in your life forever, and I want to dance at your wedding.
My guardian ad litem changed my life.
She stood up for me, she spoke for me, and now this is my home.
We simply must look out for children. We must care enough to give a little bit of our time so that children are not afraid, so that they're hopeful, and that when they go to bed at night, they don't stay awake wondering if anyone will ever love them again.
Did you ever know that you're my